All right, guys, time to get this on video. I have managed to pick this CX5. This is a new manufacturer. These used to be called the Scorpion, and they were made up in Canada. But now they are made in Korea, but I still bought it from a Canadian guy up in Canada. And this is what it looks like. It looks innocent enough. It does have 6 threaded cylinders. It looks like a kick, maybe a schlag. Everything looks normal until you start looking in the face of this thing. We got a little bit of a paracentric keyway, and we got some real nastiness downstairs. And you really know that when you take a look at the key. So 6 pins, and they're all security pins, every one of them. It's unique to this lock, in fact. And we have some sliders on the side of here. The lock is brand new, works beautifully. There's a ball bearing detent in the top, so you can hear it clicking. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge to overcome. I have picked this, and now I'm going to show you how I did it. Let me get it clamped up, and we'll get busy. All right, I think that ought to hold it. I got a couple of marks on there. It works beautifully. There is a little a ball bearing detent in the top there. I guess I have to pay attention to that when we're tensioning it. I'm going to use a combination tack on this one. I found that my best luck is raking it to a partial fault set and then picking my way past that and then continuing with the rake and then repeat that until I get a really good offset, and then the pins on the bottom will start to bind. We'll get to that. Let's first beat the top 6 pins. So very light tension. These are security pins that are unique to the CX5, and you'll see what I mean when we get it picked and take it apart. But I want a very slight fault set, which means I have one picked and I have to pick the binder. But until you find a binder by raking at least one of them, it's really difficult to pick this lock. If you put too much tension on here, you may as well recock it and start fresh, because these pins, as I hope to show you, are quite nasty. And I believe I've screwed up already. So let's go ahead and recock it. And very light tension. Let's try that again. Just want to overcome that ball bearing tension. All right, I'm feeling a very slight fault set. See if I can rake up a second one. And if not, we'll go in there and SPP something. We'll find that binder. All right, I think this is as far as we're going to get. All right, I'm going to take a 13 thousandths from Rare Elements. I'm going to go in from the bottom. I'm going to find the binder. Now watch how little counter rotation we get when we find that binder. If I can work my way past the warding, there we go. Okay, I must have missed him. It's very little. There we go. That was pin 6, and I got a little bit of offset. Let me see if I find another binder. I don't want to put too much tension to force a binder, because I'll be totally hosed. All right, there's another one. It's pin 3. And I think, oh, pin 3 is still giving counter rotation. All right, now we've lost the fault set. Let's go back and check 6. Nothing. All right, don't lose your tension. Go back in with your rake and see if you can rake up your fault set again. Light on the tension. There's our fault set. We got it back. So now we've got 3 and 6 picked. Let's go in there and see what else we got. Back in with a pick. I'm not even going to bother to check 6. Let's just go straight to 5. Or keep checking for counter rotation. There it is, pin 2. Very, very slight. Okay, now we've lost our fault set again. So I'm going to check 6. I'm focusing on him in 3. And I got nothing, so back in with the rake. Let's try to get our fault set back. Maintain that light tension. The moment you get overzealous and really put the tension to it is the moment you screw up. Come on, fault set. I know you're there. There we go. We got it back. See if I can find the next one now. All right. Go back in there with your hook. Find that counter rotation. There he is. That's more than usual. Pin 1. Okay, you notice we got him set, but we lost our fault set again. Back in with the rake. I am allowing my tension to get slightly less on my thumb as I rake so I can get that fault set back. And there it is. Okay, we got a fault set back in with a hook. That was warding. Okay, there it is, pin 2 again. So I screwed that one up. Let's go ahead and get him right this time. Okay, I believe we got him that time. If you guys want to go get a drink or go to the bathroom, go make a sandwich, you've probably got time. Because we're not even halfway there yet. All right, I'm lightening up on my, there we go. I just lightened up on my tension and I got a fault set back. It's not quite as deep as we had before, but we're working with a different pin now. I'm going to look at pin 1 first because he's one of the few that we haven't gotten yet. He looks okay. Oh, there he is right there. Pin 3. Pop back down on us. Okay, we got it back. Dang it. Pin 2. Okay, we got our fault set back. All right, I get no feedback off any of them. Now this might be the moment of truth. Now what I'm going to do is check the sliders on the bottom. If they're bound up, then you know we got these picked. If they're not bound up, they're free floating, then we got to get back to work on that upstairs. In order to check the sliders, I'm going to use this guy. This is a hybrid Euro from Sparrows. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put them in backwards and just push all the sliders up and see if they're even under tension. And they are not. All right, they are still free floating. So that tells me that we still need to pick at least one pin upstairs. They certainly feel like they're all bound. All right, well, obviously there's at least one left. So let's find him and knock him down. There he is. Pin 1. He kind of mushed into place, and I'm not really sure we got him. But let's get our fault set back and we'll recheck him. Okay, there's our fault set back. It's a nice deep one this time. All right, now let's check those sliders. Okay, I just felt a very slight click on the core there. Now I'm putting extraordinary tension on the core. Notice I'm flexing the tensioner because I'm trying to force those guys to bind up. I'm going to push them all the way up first, and then I'm going to take my pick and go in from the top and then push them down just to make sure. Okay, now I'm going to go in one at a time. I'm going to put my pick in with the tip pointing to the left and manipulate them up, looking for a binder. Okay, that was one on the very back. Let's push them back down and try it again. Okay, there was one on the very back that was stuck on the top. Now let's put extraordinary tension and try to pick them up one at a time, see if we can find a binder. Where are you? There you go. I felt the turn on the core, and there we go. Open. CX5, aka the Scorpion. All right, let me get my tensioner out of there. Pull him out of here, and let's get him gutted. I want to show you guys these security pins that are in this thing. Let's first go ahead and lock him back up. Show you the key still works. And let's start pulling these guys out of here. Let me get a pin and tray. And I happen to have pre-poed this guy. It is a 2mm. And I'll gut him this way because we do have to deal with a sidebar and all kinds of stuff coming out of there. So pin 1. And yeah, I'm a little excited about picking him on camera. All right, here is I want to set him down right here for a second. I want to show you these pins and why they are such a pain in the tuchus to get picked. They are hollow, they are attached to the spring, and they have a nice little sharp edge that really grabs and seizes up that core. Okay, let me get that guy, put him in the right place, and let's keep going. Come out of there. There you go. Another one, exactly the same. Another one exactly the same. Another one exactly the same. Starting to see a trend here. So repetition on the way we pick it, and also repetition on these pins. I think they're all probably going to be identical. Yep. And the last one. I'm actually doing this to remove some of the variables of gutting. I'm just tired of those gutting disasters. All right, exactly the same pin on him as well. No security pins on the key pins, only on the drivers. All right, let's pull this guy apart. Should take a Schlage tailpiece, yep. All right. Let's see if I can do this without screwing up too bad. All right, I am going to put the key in there. We still have to deal with that sidebar. Turn them like so. The sidebar should be over here on this side. So when I pull them out, I don't think I need a follower, but why not? Okay, there's your sidebar starting to emerge. With the key in, it should retain everything except the sidebar. So I'm just going to keep sliding him out. There are your 5 sliders that go, come on camera, go on the side. The sidebar is intact. Let me grab a pair of tweezers here. There's your sidebar. And I think if I flip them over, nothing bad will happen. And there are all 5 of your sliders. And you can see they're not all the same because they're pushed down to different depths by the key. I am going to put my thumb on here just a second. I don't know if they're spring loaders or not. I don't think they are. But why take a chance? All right, here we go. Let me turn around and get it oriented so I can get it back together right. There's number 1. I'll pick them up and we can look at them in a second. Number 2, that was stuck to the sweat on my finger. Number 3. There are springs in these guys, and they're falling out. 4. Come on, come on. All right, let's take 5 out then. See if he wants to come out. There he comes. And the last one. He's the one there he is, stuck. All right, I don't see anything else unusual about this bad boy. It looks like it has potential for traps here, or construction balls. All right, let me straighten this up just a little bit because they did have springs in them. No, the springs were from the, springs were from the sidebar. There were no springs on the sliders. And this guy stuck to my finger, and over there's what we're looking at. Move that stuff out of the way and give you a close, let me tilt this camera down just a little bit, give you a little bit better shot. Every cylinder was identical. Every single one of them had one of these very sharp little guys. They're hollow, so they're really light. I imagine these would be very difficult to bump into position. So it was a little bit repetitious the way I figured out how to rake them, and then pick the next one, rake the next one, just get one binding so you can pick it. But it basically was hanging up on that sharp edge. Again, with that sharp edge, you can see that if you put too much tension on that bad boy, that sharp edge is going to dig into the side of the core, and that is it. We'll look at the core in just a second. I think I see some cutouts here. Really nasty. All right, on the top, these are all of the 5 sliders. And let's take a look at another reason this thing is so nasty. Come here, you. If you take a look at the core here, you'll notice that very ASA-like or Ruco-like. Beneath here are undercuts on every single one of these 6. Every single one of these has undercuts on both sides, allowing that little sharp edge to get trapped up underneath there. So again, when you go to pick these things, very, very light tension. The moment you put tension on it, that forces that sharp edge into that little undercut, you are totally hosed. Keep it light, and you'll find you're able to pick your way into the CX5. Anyway, fellas, appreciate your time. Appreciate your patience. 20 minutes. Wow. Stay safe. Stay legal.